Kiran Chaudhary. In my last video, I had generally talked about section 99, which is offense in respect of discipline or against the discipline. There, we had also said what would be the penalty or forfeiture in case of A, B, and C of the offenses which were milder compared to these offenses which are D, E, and F involving imprisonment. So, in case of offense under D, that is continued disobedience or combining with other people and continuing to cause nuisance, impeding the safe navigation, etc. So, in this particular case, what happens is you may get an imprisonment which can extend up to 1 month. For every 24 hours of continued disobedience, forfeiture of wages which may extend to the maximum of 6 days per 24 hours. Now let's come to the offense that is conducted under E, that is assaulting the master or the other people, which is considered rather more serious. Here you may incur an imprisonment of up to 3 months and or the penalty which may be up to 50,000 rupees, 50,000. And the last offense under this section 99, that is F, which is criminal breach or criminal misappropriation of the funds or breach of trust, etc. I told you, you are doing unethical things like selling of the wire rope, drums, etc. For that, you might get imprisonment up to 3 months, and you have to pay an amount to compensate for the loss that was caused, right? Equivalent to the loss that was caused. Section 101 says that if a seafarer has committed an offense under section 98, that is, he's deserted the ship or he was absent without leave, or under section 99, he has committed an offense in respect of discipline, or he has committed some act of misconduct, for which he is liable to pay a penalty. So in all these situations, it is the duty of master to make an official log entry. In that official log entry, whatever is the offense that has been noticed, it will be explained to the seafarer, it will be read clearly to the person whose log entry is being made, and this log entry is to be signed by the master and the duty officer, the officer on duty. So, as I told you earlier also, in the official log entries, there has been a lot of importance given to the log entry being signed also by the duty officer. So, it is possible that the seafarer has to say something in protest or in his protection, then that particular statement also will be written in the official logbook, and it goes without saying that his signatures would be taken, and also the same thing will be again signed by master as well as the duty officer. Now the copy of such a log entry has to be furnished to the seafarer. Section 107 says that if the seafarer is discharged in India, the matter has to be discussed with the shipping master, and the log entry that was made, the facts of the log entry that is made, and the offense that was committed by the seafarer. If the shipping master is convinced, then what will happen is the deduction from the wages will be done, and whatever is deducted or whatever penalty has been imposed, that is recovered and that is handed over to the shipping master. Now the same thing if it happens in a foreign country, like ambassador will be a person to replace the shipping master, as I discussed. Then shipping master, the way shipping master was to be satisfied, here the ambassador will look into the matter, and if he is satisfied in respect of the offense and the log entry, etc., and if the seafarer is discharged upon the directives of the ambassador has to sign the official logbook, and appropriate entry has to be made in the official logbook in this respect. And whatever amount has been deducted, when the ship comes to India, that amount has to be handed over to the shipping master. Now later on, the amount that is recovered in this fashion and the amount that is with the shipping master, that amount can be utilized for seafarers' welfare. Guidance of central government would be there in this respect. The award that is passed by the shipping master is enforceable in accordance with the Civil Procedure Code 1908, and the matter that was submitted to the shipping master is not to be affected by, it's not affected by the Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996. Under section 181 paragraph 2, there are it has list of offences against which the penalty has been stated, but under section 181 subparagraph 3 we have the list of offences against which the penalty as well as imprisonment has been mentioned. So in section 106 what it says that as long as any question in respect of forfeiture etc. has been submitted to an appropriate court, as long as it is submitted to an appropriate court, never mind that the case was not heard in the criminal proceedings. Section 283 paragraph 1 says that a person can be tried in an appropriate court depending on the situation, for example where a person is found, or it also says that an appropriate court as determined by the central government, or it also says that a court where the offender is there because of the appropriate applicable law. So it's all right that the person is tried in these courts, but it says that for all the offences, where imprisonment is specified, for example, the cases or the list which is there under section 283, section 281, subparagraph 3, then all those offences will have to be tried in a court which is not smaller than that of the judicial magistrate of first class.